Serious, people who have friends but feel like they aren't anyone's best friend. What are your thoughts on that? Frankly, it sucks. I know that the person I consider to be my best friend doesn't think of me in the same way. The only person who actually thought of me as her best friend moved when I was in like middle school and we fell out of contact. In the 12 years since then, I've always felt like I'm my friend's second choice. And it shows. For example, for my best friend's birthday last year, me and the girl who's actually her best friend threw a surprise party for her. When my last birthday came around, I got a couple of texts. I don't actually care about the lack of a party. It's that my friends put in so much more effort for others than they do for me. I often feel like I'm the only one trying to maintain the friendships that I have. I hate it. I hate not being anyone's first choice, knowing I will never have that special relationship. I've considered others my best friend, but the feelings have never been mutual. I've always wanted to be a maid of honor or a godmother, but I know that's never gonna happen. You just gotta learn to be okay with it, I guess. I felt the same, not being the first choice of anyone. But then I got a girlfriend and it was the first time for a long time that there was someone who cared for me and whom I was important to. Someone you love and know she's feeling the same for you. But a few months later she broke up and now I'm feeling lonelier than ever. You know that heavy feeling when you can't call on anyone when you need them the most? I stopped thinking I'm anyone's best friend because no matter how much I'm there when they need me, they will never take any effort to prioritize me when I'm having a hard time. Makes me feel like they only wanna hang out when someone better says no. I know the feeling all too well. Honestly, I feel pretty embarrassed about it. Nobody would ever really notice, but it sucks when thinking about stuff like who would I even ask to be my best man and stuff like that, and not having an answer. Easy to start feeling pretty down about yourself. I've always felt like I wasn't especially clever or funny enough to stand out in a crowd. My trick is throwing parties and pre-games. So now I have a big group of friends without having a closest friend. But no one seems to notice, except me. It does hurt when people you consider to be your best friend talk to you about their actual best friends. Or when you throw a birthday party and no one brings you a cake. Things like that. It sucks. I'm constantly asking myself, if I weren't here, would I be missed? Would anyone notice everyone's always talking to someone else? They never have time for me, and when they do, I'm too much of a goddamn introvert to say much more than a few sentences. There's no one to pick me up when I fall. Metaphorically, I have to pick myself up. I have to cry on my own shoulder. Yeah, it freaking sucks. I'm a very friendly guy, so I have all sorts of what I consider acquaintances, not necessarily friends, but odd strangers. People I can talk to on a regular basis. However, with that said, I have a single friend who I feel lost the best title. After he moved states, we talk less and see each other less. It sucks not having another male person to talk to about things. I have my fiancée, and she means everything to me. But I really wish I had a guy friend. A dude to play video games with, go get drinks with, shoot the crap type stuff. I hate being an adult. It's tough and feels like at this point, you're past being able to find a best friend like that. I'm with ya though. Would be cool to have a guy friend I could watch WrestleMania with, a football game, or see John Wick in theaters with. Instead I either bring the GF along who enjoys it with me or just go alone. That happened to me while back in elementary school. I felt really lonely, especially when the teachers said okay, everyone pair up, and I always got left out. And since there was an odd number of students in the class, I often ended up tagging along with two people who I was friends with. But because they were besties with each other, I felt even lonelier. I'm the type of person who'd rather have one bestie than lots of friends. Though, it sucks to not have a best friend. I am in the same boat. I hate when it comes to group works because no one would pick me to be in their group and I just sit there like a lonely idiot. Gets lonely. Everyone seems to have that one person or group of best friends that they so everything with, and I have friends but no best friends, so I just feel alone. It upsets me sometimes. Like I always get the feeling that none of my friends feel the same as I do towards them. I'm pretty much always the one to initiate conversations or ask how they're doing or message them after months. This is how I feel about all of my friends. I've gotten sort of bitter about it though. I've stopped reaching out to people. Shout out to the lurkers who are too anxious to even comment something. I love you all. Thanks. 3. I feel like a side character. It's fine though cause they are all main characters in my story. I just gotta live with that. I can't force people to like me any better. I don't even need to be someone's one best friend. But being appreciated to the same extent I appreciate my friends would be nice. But I can't force that, so I try to not think about it too much. Every once in a while I get really insecure about it though and have a hard time with it. It sucks knowing I'm never anyone's first choice for anything. Whether it's hanging out, playing Xbox, or just need help with something, I'm always one of the last ones. I love my friends, but I know they all have someone else they care about more. I think about it all the time. I feel invisible. People don't hate me and that is great, but I'm no one's first choice or confidant. I'm invited to group events but only if everyone is going, not if it's a small, intimate event. My whole life I've always been the third wheel in best friendships. I've never really felt like I fit or belonged with any group. The one person who I can say is my absolute best friend, and says I'm theirs, is my so. It's strange that the one person I feel I fit in with and click with is him, but that's who it is. I'm incredibly happy about it, but when the time comes, I can't exactly ask him to be my maid of honor. He already knows exactly who he'd have for groomsmen. I have at least one friend in mind, but otherwise I have no idea. Honestly, it's kind of depressing. I never feel like anyone's first choice. Sometimes I feel this way, but at the same time there's a reciprocal feeling that other people might consider me their best friend and I simply don't realize. And if they heard me say I didn't have any best friends, they'd be really let down or disappointed. You'd be surprised by how much people truly love and care about you, but you don't hear it directly simply because you're so far apart. So that's something that keeps me going and fills me with gratitude for those whom I love but may not be as close to as I want to be. TBH, I juicy feel more lonely, like dang. I was just thinking about this the other day. Honestly, I feel lonely a lot. I have friends, and a couple of people that I consider to be my really close friends. But I know that I wouldn't be their first pick if they had to choose between me and one of their other friends, even though they'd be my first pick. I always do what I can to be as good of a friend as possible, because I do love my friends, but I'm not always sure if it matters, because I'm not the cool or quirky one to them. I feel like I'm forgotten about and left out a lot, and it sucks. I'm really close with my brother though. I consider him to be my best friend, and I know he feels the same about me, so I'm really thankful for him. We're in different countries at the moment though and have been for the past few years, so it's not the same. It would be nice to have another person that I had a close relationship with here at the moment. I'm happy with who I am though, and I realize that I can't change my friends' perceptions of me without changing who I am, and I'm not going to do that. When I start to feel really down about this stuff, I usually FaceTime my bro or family and that always helps. I also spend a lot of time playing with my bunny. I know I'm her best friend, and I love her to pieces. So I know I always have my relationship with her going for me, and that helps me feel better, too. How dare you mention having a bunny without showing pictures? I don't mind. I'm my own best friend. People even lie and I learned I'm the only one that can really have my back anyway, to be blunt. I've read through all the comments and I'm sad for those that feel left out and lonely without that one special friend. I just wanted to say, don't write yourselves off. A best friend can be found at any age, usually when you're not looking. I never realized I was lacking a best friend until I met one in my late 40s. I'd always had friends, one who I considered my best friend, and I hers, but in reality we weren't really that close, which I didn't realize until I met this other friend. This new, well, not new now, as we've been friends for about 15 years now, friend makes me laugh, always brightens my day whenever I talk to her, even though we rarely see each other now as she moved away. We speak on the phone almost daily. We've both been through some tough stuff over the years and it's her I can tell anything to. So, the best friends you make at school aren't necessarily for life, so don't give up. to be honest, I'm not sure if my answer is even valid. I've had trouble making friends until 6th grade, but even then I felt lonely and almost incompetent. It wasn't the friend that was the problem. It was me having the mentality that all and anyone can leave me at any moment without an explanation. So I just became okay with the feeling of not being anyone's best. I have friends who call me their best friend, but I'm still doubtful as I haven't known them as long as their other friends have. Pretty sure I project the best friend role onto my dog, as cliche as it sounds. My dog was my best and pretty much my only friend. Cherish that man. I just had to put him to sleep weds. I don't know what to do anymore. I always feel like a last thought when group gatherings happen. Even though I'm the most lively out of all my friends and they always have fun with me. I have dinner tomorrow with 7 people I've known for 15 plus years and I'm not of any importance to them. I was even kind of invited last minute and they obviously have a group chat without me. But I'm sucking it up and showing face because they need to see I'm just as happy in life doing my own thing. It sucks honestly. I'm in my early 20s. I have friends I have been in almost constant contact with for the whole 20 years and a few for at least 10 years each. Group of 7 friends. We were neighbors and classmates, meaning we hung around a lot. But honestly, I know that if push came to shove and they had to choose between me or any of the others, none of them would pick me. I doubt I would even be the 5th or 6th pick. It honestly pretty demoralizing to know you can't confide in someone with a complete sense of trust. I love it, actually. I get to hang out with different groups of friends every time. Everybody likes me, just not enough to adopt me as one of them, lol. Sometimes it's inconvenient to be left out, but I really like the freedom that comes with it. This is a great perspective actually. I had a best friend once, like, a real, true best friend. The kind where you call each other's parents mom and dad. The kind where you can stay at their house for a week and no one bats an eye. The kind where you can share your weirdest, wildest thoughts without fear of judgment. Then she stole my boyfriend. It was a few months after 2 close friends of mine had committed suicide one day after the other. I was pretty mentally unwell. It cut like a knife. Confronting her was met with "You aren't in charge of me. You can't tell me what I can and can't do." The guy turned out to be a total dirtbag anyways. Her mom actually called my mom to ask for help in getting her to see that, which made it all the worse. She didn't kill our friendship for her dream guy, just some jobless loser who mooched off of his friend's family. After that, I haven't had another best friend. I have friends, but not like that. I don't think I could open myself up to it again. I've tried to talk to her a couple of times. She always ignores it. Somehow, she thinks what she did was totally justified, despite the fact that he cheated on her with his ex later, and I had tipped her off. Ex was an old friend of mine. Jennifer, if you didn't see this, I really hope nobody ever makes you feel the way that you made me feel. Getting to know every part of someone just to show them they're worth nothing to you is a horrible feeling. Ouch, didn't want to read and run. That sounds awful. Your best friend sounds like she made a horrible choice. Not everyone is like her, so hopefully one day you'll trust someone again. I hope it gets better for you. Honestly, you just get used to it after a few years and stop caring. I'm not that kind of friend, that's all. Don't force friendships. I can dig it. I don't consider anyone a best friend, therefore I am not surprised. Nor do I think I care much if no one considers me one. Easy. I've accepted my fate. My sister is my best friend and I doubt anyone will ever see me as a best friend like my sister does. I've been told that a sibling doesn't count. That counts. It's hard to get out of childhood on good terms with your siblings. Good for you. I'm fine. I'm still invited to stuff and people say hi to me. Since I'm no one's first choice, as far as I know, I won't be doing something every day and will have a nice amount of alone time. It's depressing sometimes. I'm serious with my boyfriend to a point where I've thought about our wedding quite a bit. I've come to realize we can't do a wedding party because I don't have anyone to put in it. He has his brother and a few close friends, but I don't have anyone. That's a hard pill to swallow as a girl because it feels like I'm going to miss out on the fun of a normal wedding. We went to a friend's wedding recently and I remember being jealous of the bride having fun on the dance floor with her sisters and childhood friends. Everyone I'm a friend with has a friend they 1. Spend more time with, or 2. Seem happier around that person. This doesn't really affect me just cause I don't care if I'm the favorite, as long as I enjoy their company. I also just prefer to be second, not first, nor last, not directly smack in the middle, unless there is no other place, and just somewhere that is ignored. It's honestly the worst feeling when you come to the realization. Your heart sinks and stomach gets this empty feeling. I realized it on my birthday when I planned a snow day and the day ended up being all about one of my friends, everyone taking pictures of him enjoying himself and following him around. And at the end of the day legit one of them said, "Oh, it's your birthday, I'm a dude," and felt like crying on the spot. And then next year I thought I would give it another crack. All my friends rocked up an hour late, sat on the couch and watched the footy. They had all privately planned to go to clubbing after that. The party started at 6 and they all left by 8. I spent that birthday drunk, alone and miserable. Yet they got upset at me for missing one of their birthdays cause I had work and couldn't get it off. After typing this I've realized I don't think I have any actual friends, let alone best friends. Well, I thought I was someone's best friend until I realized they were constantly talking to a good 6-7 other people. I, on the other hand, only talk to him. It's lonely and depressing. It's not great. Definitely less than ideal. I did have a best friend for over 20 years, but we recently had a falling out. Now it just seems weird to be 30 and try to escalate current regular friendships into bestie territory. They all have their own best friends already anyways. I have my fiancé who is my all-time ultimate best friend of course, but that's not the same. It sucks a lot, and what hurts more is when I had a best friend in the past, I was always put to the side once they started dating someone. It also doesn't help that I have no interest in dating, so I've kinda given up on being someone's real number one. Kinda sucks. Just a seesaw of wow, I may have a best friend, and then, frick, I thought he was my friend, guess not. I had who I thought was my closest friend talk to me on Discord, just to invite someone else into the call and spend the whole time talking at plans they had for the next day. Basically everyone was going to accept me, and I am a very low confidence, insecure, anxious person, so I was very slow to make friends, and at this point I was at one of my happiest, then I fell apart and cried. This is honestly my reason for having more than one kid. If they ever need each other they will be there, and I hope to foster a good siblings relationship. I was like that for a lot of my life, maybe half, then found that the people I was giving my time to weren't worth it. You have to find the type of people where you provide seamless value to one another. When I was an outlying friend I wondered why I wasn't more included. It wasn't a me issue, I just needed to direct my efforts towards the right people. I had to take a step back from a lot of the things my friend group liked to do because I had some health issues pop up. It is hard to go out to bars and clubs, which is all they really want to do, when I get fatigued so easily. What I realized at that time is that while I thought I had a few very close friends, I just really had people to go out with. They've stopped inviting me to things because I don't have the ability to do what they want to. They only take me up on invites out to eat or do something more low-key every so often. It's always nice to catch up and get out of the house, but I know now if I really needed them, they wouldn't really be there for me. It's been depressing honestly, and it's so hard to make new friends as an adult. Sometimes just having good friends is enough. Best friends means one person you're super close with. You can still be close with other people without having a favorite. I learned to live with it. It's like this my whole life. You have been visited by the IT lizard. Upvote or experience bad internet for a month. Thanks for watching. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.